Has Cam Newton gone too far? Why is he blowing flames? Will he have a job on Monday? We're going to take a look at the clip of him on First Take. We're also going to jump into the Skip Bayless lawsuit if you stay tuned long enough. All right, here we go again. Cam Newton is making noise. Let's hear what he had to say on First Take.
I'm going to go with the unpopular pick, but I want everybody to keep this same energy in other commodities, in politics, in entertainment, in sports, no matter what it is. And we haven't been holding people to the same fire. So, Mark Andrews, it's okay, bro. You ain't got to talk to nobody because in other networks, there's lawsuits that's been out. We ain't heard nobody say nothing about that. Now, we got other things that's coming up. When there's a Fox report that comes out and we haven't heard anybody speak about anything or make any type of public announcement, nobody has held Fox to that same thing. So why are we talking about making a big fuss about Mark Andrews if you're not going to keep that same energy across the board? That's what I'm saying.
He's saying
in all different industries, people don't have to.
I just didn't understand what he was saying. That's all. I didn't know.
He's just saying in all different industries, people don't have to be held accountable and go in front of a mic right away. So,
and listen, I believe Mark's going to talk at some point.
So the conversation centered on Mark Andrews, the NFL player. Cam Newton, being the person he is, jumps into the conversation. Is the point valid? Should everyone have to come forward with an immediate statement? Is Fox situation being covered just the same? Are they being pushed forward to speak and come to the mic? Does Cam Newton have a point? He's almost like the mad scientist, right? One day you like him, the next day he's going crazy. What is your thoughts? Should Mark Andrews make a statement? Okay. People want to hear from him. I believe there's a GoFundMe set up for him by fans. And then also Cam Newton also makes the statement about Fox Sport. Should more news coverage be on it? Should they be pushed to come forward and talk about what's been going on over there? I want to hear your thoughts, but let's go ahead and jump into the Skip Bayless and Fox lawsuit. Okay. It's pretty detailed, and I have the documents. From what I've heard, it was pretty interesting. So let's see what this is all about. Let me give you a better view as well. All right. So this lawsuit was set in the Superior Court of the state of California, County of Los Angeles. Now, this is a class action complaint. Now, part of this class action complaint, which you can see here on the right, is failure to pay minimum wages. Who's not paying minimum wages nowadays? Huh? Jeez. Also, failure to pay overtime wages, failure to reimburse business expenses, failure to pay all wages upon separation, failure to furnish accurate itemized wage statements, unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices as well. Okay, so that's the class action complaint. That's against Fox Corporation, a Delaware corporation. And that includes everyone such as Fox Sports under that umbrella, Charles Dixon, Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor as individuals. Now, there's also a component, it looks like, of this lawsuit that's an individual complaint. And this comes probably from Mrs. Farage. It is sexual battery, hostile work environment, hostile work environment. In parentheses, it's race and origin. So I guess it's due to her race and also due to her gender. Okay. And hostile work environment for her disability. We'll see what that's about. And failure to prevent harassment, negligent supervision, her hiring and retention, retaliation, and wrongful termination. Okay, this is an extensive lawsuit against Fox. I did not know that this was class action as well as personal. So summary of this is Miss Farage brings forth this action because over a decade at Fox, she was forced to endure a misogynistic, racist workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers. Miss Farage and others came forward to report wrongdoing instead of addressing their concerns. Fox retaliated against them while the perpetrators and those who protected them were promoted. This case thus represents yet another in a long line of cases, of toxic culture at Fox, marked by bad faith promises and repeated failure to address poisonous entrenched patriarchy. Whew. All right. And I'm not going to get every word right in this lawsuit. So if that bothers you, I'm not sure what to say. All right. So let's scroll down here. So this talks about the parties involved. Okay. The main party is Charles Dixon, the vice president of FS1. And this is, I guess, one of the main people in the sexual harassment lawsuit. And this is what Cam Newton wants to blow flames on. So if Cam Newton is going to blow flames on it, then let's go ahead in here with our fire hat and see what's going on. Also, Skip Bayless is a sports columnist. We know who he is. He's named in this lawsuit. At relevant times, Mr. Bayless was an agent of Fox and had authority to make decisions impacting Miss Farage employment. Okay, that's interesting. So, upon information and belief, Mr. Bayless, he's a resident of California. And then defendant Joy Taylor, that's the woman in the center of all of this, is a media correspondent, of course. And she also had the authority to make decisions impacting Miss Farage's employment as well. Okay, that's an interesting triage right there. And that's an interesting dynamic, So she began working in 2003 around Fox. And in 2016, Fox hired Miss Farage again as a full-time hairstylist. Mr. Dixon gives Miss Joy undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. In approximately March 2016, Miss Farage met Miss Taylor, an inspiring sports personality that recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles. Okay, she's detailing their relationship. Okay, that's interesting. All right, they had margaritas, so this is detailed. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is a very detailed. She's talking about dinners they had together. And then now this is highlighted. Mr. Dixon gropes Mrs. Farage after putting her on dispute. Wow. Okay. So just prior to that, in approximately September 2016, Undisputed started. Miss Taylor represented Miss Farage to do hair in approximately November. After not allowing anyone to touch his hair, Farage Bayless also requested Miss Farage to do his hair. Mr. Dixon gropes Miss Farage after putting her on Undisputed. Okay, so she's getting more work by working these shows. And wow, that is a very hostile work environment. Miss Farage did not know who to turn to. But as she knew, Miss Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon. She turned to her. Surprisingly, Miss Taylor responded, get over it, and explained that she herself only had her job because of Mr. Dixon, and that Farage only had her job because Miss Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Taylor could take both away. Okay. Miss Faraj was terrified and then turned to her co-worker, anonymous person, to discuss the situation. Miss Anonymous, or Mr. Anonymous, responded that Mr. Dixon was disgusting, that the entire situation was sick, and that it wasn't shocking, given Fox's culture, and that Miss Faraj could remain quiet if she wanted to keep, and should remain quiet if she wanted to keep her job. As a single mom who needed the job to support her son, Miss Faraj had no choice but to remain silent. So all of this centers around Undisputed. Unfortunately, Mr. Dixon gets rid of a female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. Okay. All right. Mr. Bayless begins to give Miss Faraj lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her upper portion of the body. We're just going to leave the details out there. Mr. Diaz racially and sexually harasses Mr. Faraj. Okay. This is a 42-page document. So as you see, just kind of scrolling through, getting the major details. And Miss Faraj believes she has cancer and conveys this to Mr. Bayless in an attempt to stop his advances, only to have him offer $1.5 million to have sex. I'm almost speechless with that one. Do I really want to go on? I'm on page 12. Miss Faraj's job is threatened because she did not sleep with Mr. Bayless. On April 12th, 2022, Mr. Bayless texts Faraj, I'm good today. The text meant that he would not be coming in for hair or makeup. On the 13th, Mr. Bayless texts Faraj, not comfortable coming down there. Just do what you need to do. It's okay. Mr. Faraj asked him what was wrong. He replied, same stuff, worse. Faraj, concerned about her own job, walked to Mr. Bayless' fitting room to see if everything was okay. Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before Miss Faraj could speak, he began to angrily accuse Miss Faraj of effing Mr. Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Miss Faraj tried to explain that she did not have any feelings towards Mr. Sharp and had never slept with him or any other talent member or employee at Fox. But before she could speak, Mr. Bayless demanded she come to his car after the show. Mr. Faraj responded she could not come sit in his car as it was inappropriate. Mr. Bayless grew irate and then left. Wow. These are some shocking details. And I mean, does Cam Newton have a point? Should this be the center of discussion on channels across the board? It's a lot here. I'm going to say that this is going to be part one. If you guys want to hear more of the lawsuit, make sure you like, make sure you comment. All right. I'll read those, respond back, and we'll jump back into it if you want to hear more. But I definitely want to know, is Cam Newton right? Is he a madman? Or does he make valid points? I appreciate you tuning in. It's Mr. Simmons Official. Until the next time, family. Peace.